Hey everyone, welcome. We're going to dive into a question today that sounds super simple on the surface, but it's actually at the core of, well, everything. The question is, what is a business, really? To get our heads around it, let's kick things off with a little puzzle. Okay, so just think about this for a second. On one hand, you've got your local corner bakery, right? Selling that amazing warm bread. And on the other, you've got some billion-dollar phone app. The kind for sending silly photos to your friends. I mean, they couldn't be more different, could they? But here's the thing. They're actually built on the exact same basic idea. So what's the connection? It's this simple. They both solve a problem. Seriously, that's it. That's the secret sauce. The bakery, it solves the I'm starving and need carbs now problem. The app, it solves the I need to share this hilarious moment with my best friend right now problem. Every single business, I don't care how big or how small, it all starts right there. And that right there, that's the spark. It's the beginning of the whole story. I mean, before you even think about a product or a cool logo or making even a single penny, it all starts with someone, somewhere, just looking around and noticing something's not quite right. A little frustration, a gap, and they just think, wait a minute, I can fix that. All right, to really get this, let's make it fun. Let's cook up our own little business right now. So, here's the problem. Boring lunches. We've all been there, right? That sad little sandwich you packed? Ugh. So, what's the solution? How about a gourmet grilled cheese food truck? I'm talking amazing, gooey, next-level sandwiches. We'll even give it a name. Let's call it the Meltdown. Perfect. Okay, so we've got a killer idea. The Meltdown is going to be a hit. But an idea is just an idea. How do we turn that cheesy, melty goodness into a real business that actually works? Well, it all comes down to one magic word: value. Think of value as the bridge, right? It's what connects our brilliant idea over here to a customer's wallet over there. So, value creation. It sounds a little corporate-y, but it's really the engine of any business. It's the whole game. It's about making something that people don't just think is nice. Nope. It has to be something they really want, something they're actually willing to pull out their wallet and pay for. It's how we turn a simple sandwich into a genuine solution for their boring lunch problem. And you can really break it down into 3 simple steps. Let's stick with our food truck, the Meltdown. Step 1, we spot the need. People are tired of boring lunches. Check. Step 2, we come up with the solution, our awesome grilled cheese sandwiches. Double check. And then step 3, and this is the most important part, we actually exchange it for money. The moment a happy customer hands us cash for that sandwich, boom, that's value creation right there in action. All right, so we're creating value, we're selling sandwiches, people are happy, awesome. But how does the Meltdown actually stay in business? How do we keep the lights on in the truck, buy more of that fancy cheese, and maybe, just maybe, dream about opening a second truck one day? Well, that brings us to the fuel that makes the whole engine run: profit. Now, it's easy to think of profit as just extra cash lying around, but it's so much more than that. It's the lifeblood. Seriously. It's what lets a business get through the tough months, what lets it grow, try new things, maybe invent a new crazy sandwich. It's how we keep getting better at solving that boring lunch problem. Without profit, even the most popular business in the world will eventually just run out of gas. And look, the whole profit thing really just boils down to 2 sides of a coin. On one side, you've got revenue. That's all the cash coming in, every dollar we make from selling those delicious sandwiches. Then, on the other side, you've got costs. That's all the money going out. We're talking bread, cheese, the truck itself, wages for our sandwich-making genius, all of it. And the math here is about as simple as it gets. If the money coming in, the revenue, is more than the money going out, the costs, then hey, we've got a profit. That's a good day. But if it costs us more to make and sell the sandwiches than we're actually earning, well, that's a loss. And that's a big red flag that tells us we need to change something, and fast. But here's a reality check. A business isn't just about spreadsheets and ingredients. It doesn't exist in some little bubble. There's one group of people out there that holds all the cards. They have the ultimate power to decide if the Meltdown becomes a huge success or a total flop. And you know who I'm talking about? It's the customer. I mean, think about it. We could have the most incredible grilled cheese on the planet. I'm talking a secret 10-cheese blend, bread baked by Himalayan monks, the whole deal. But if no one actually walks up to the truck and buys one, then we don't have a business. What we have is a very, very expensive hobby. This idea is so important, it actually has a fancy name. It's called consumer sovereignty. And all that really means is that you, the customer, you're the boss, you're the king. Every single time you decide to spend your money, whether it's on a coffee or a new phone, you're basically casting a vote. You're telling the world what you want more of. So let's go back to our truck. Imagine a brand new taco truck, let's call it the Taco Apocalypse, parks right across the street. And suddenly, all our customers start going over there. We can't just sit there and complain, right? We have to do something. We have to adapt. Maybe that means a new spicy sandwich, or a 2-for-1 deal, or a punch card. That constant pressure to be better, that's competition. And it's all because the customer gets to choose. Okay, so we've talked about finding a problem, creating value, making a profit, and the power of the customer. That's a lot. But let's bring it all back home. Why should you even care about the nuts and bolts of a made-up food truck? How does this stuff actually matter to you?
Because every single business you deal with every day is built on these four things. Think about it. Value. What problem is that business solving for you? Customers. Why did you pick them instead of someone else? Money. How are they making enough to keep their doors open? And decisions. What choices are they making to keep up with a world that's always changing?
And here's the cool part. Once you start seeing the world through this lens, you can't unsee it. That coffee shop on the corner, it's not just selling coffee, is it? It's selling you a quiet place to work. That app on your phone isn't just a bunch of code. It's a solution for when you're bored in line. Suddenly you have the blueprint. You can see how the whole economic world around you actually works. And that brings us to one last really important question for you. You've seen the playbook now, you get how the engine works. A business, at its heart, just starts by solving a problem. Any problem, big or small. So, what's the problem that bugs you? What's the boring lunch in your world that's just crying out for a brilliant solution?